Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, as always, I'm going to be channeling your angels, ancestors, and guides to see what message they have for you today. So let's find out. And the back of the deck is going to be the Six of Swords. With the Page of Pentacles, it seems like you want to build on something. You don't want to fully rid of it with the Death in reverse. It's showing that, you're not really looking to end a situation and move on from it. It seems like you would like to build upon it. And right now, I think you're strategizing as to how you can do that. But it seems like emotionally right now, you might be a little bit all over the place. Maybe it's really hard to deal with your emotions with the King of Cups in reverse. It's showing that, we're not really in control with the emotions that are coming in. So it's best to just kind of, I think you're more tempted to be defensive and close yourself off more. So maybe when you are emotionally triggered, you will get into a very defensive state. And usually anger is a really common way to, protect yourself, because maybe, that has always worked in your environment where you give where if you're feeling unwell, you can act in an irritable way and then people just kind of leave you alone, right? That's how it's always been. And so you've learned to really rely on that anger when you're feeling like just emotional. That's it. And right now it seems like Spirit wants to give you a cup to make you feel like, you are balanced, to make you feel like you do have some kind of emotional need met, even if it's just through spirit, right? With the Knight of Wands in reverse, it's showing that there might be hesitation, there might be lack of action in something, and it's making you want to move forward. Actually, just the thing is, I don't think you want to rid of the situation completely. I think you just want to move forward because you understand that from this place right now, nothing is going to work because, one, we're feeling emotionally too vulnerable to do anything. And two, there's a lot of swords, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of past to unpack as well. And so it seems like this is dealing with the person. And yeah, because I'm definitely just channeling connections overall. This doesn't really have much to do with, I think you would like to focus on the physical, because maybe when things get hard, you tend to just focus on, your visible reality, what you can tangibly touch, what you can see. You really focus on that because emotions might be a lot for you to even process. Maybe you weren't taught how to process emotions, and that's literally not your fault, but as we grow up, we should learn how to deal with our own emotions, especially if we have kids, especially if we have people watching us, right? The way we act is the way they assume to act. And so if we want our future to be better and healthier, we need to meet ourselves in a better and healthier way. What I mean by better is just, better mechanisms to help you deal with your emotions, deal with what comes up without having to tap into that taught way of doing things, relying on what you've known all these years, right? Because, just as a child could watch you watched the adults in your life when you were growing up and how they dealt with their emotions and how they dealt with their world. And, for you, I feel like the adults might have really poured themselves into their work, into anything else that does not have emotional, anything. And so, you might have kind of adopted that. You've learned from that because that was just the way it was, right? But now Spirit is asking you, Spirit's actually just giving you a cup so that you feel worthy, so that you realize like, even if things feel completely down, even if you feel like you're not in control of your emotions, it's okay. Emotions are not, they don't come up to be controlled. They come up to be felt. They come up to be validated because it's your own body, right? If you feel sadness, it's because there's sadness within you, and it's not harmful when it comes out. It's actually extremely helpful because then you realize where that sadness comes from, what you can do about it, and how to move forward, right? It's a very practical way of dealing with it. If you're like more practical and not emotional, understand that feeling your emotions is an actual practical way of dealing with your emotions, right? And so maybe that'll motivate you to feel more comfortable allowing these emotions to come up, because when they come up, it's not designed to harm you. It's designed to make you question why you're feeling the way you're feeling and where is this coming from. And then it's supposed to lead you into discovery of new ways of meeting yourself at an emotional level. Maybe it's time that, as a collective, we learn how to reparent ourselves. We are realizing that, okay, we cannot run off of the system that we were born into because it was toxic. It made us toxic, right? It made us grow up in such a toxic way. And the things that we developed along the way really stem from that toxicity that we learned growing up. And of course, we can't blame our parents for everything that we are because we are our own individual. But there's some core teachings that parents do pass on to their children, and this is exactly what we're talking about in this reading. And you guys might have to learn how to deal with anger management and dealing with sadness in a way that doesn't just lead to anger. I think when we don't want to feel that sadness, we get frustrated, right? We're like, no, not again, like no, and you feel that uncomfortableness, but your brain picks it up as irritability. And so it's really important to reframe our mind when those feelings do come up and realize like, okay, the sadness is there to, just for me to acknowledge that I am sad. I am sad. And it's okay that I'm sad. The world isn't gone. Nothing is ruined because I am sad. I just simply am sad and I'm allowed to feel this way. And it's okay that I feel this way. And there's no need to go off of anyone else's expectations of me at this time, because I realize that, I'm suffering right now. So I will take care of myself in the best way possible, which is nurturing, right? Give yourself, make yourself like a bowl of soup or something just yummy, or if you're not a foodie, something that brings you comfort, something that brings you warmth. Because I think when you're sad, what people tend to do, right, is hug you. It's to give you that warmth. And so if you're not around people and you're just not really open to sharing your information with others, I highly recommend you hugging yourself. I realized that I never hugged myself like a couple years ago, and I just started hugging myself, and that was during my worst season. And so hugging myself brought me the sense of warmth, a sense of familiarity because it's me, and a sense of comfort because it's my arms. And yeah, like you guys can try it too. It's a really simple act, but it's like really heart melting kind of act. It's just reparenting yourself. So whatever methods you feel most comfortable, because it could even be just making yourself a little drink, sitting on the couch, putting the blanket over you and just relaxing just for like an hour, and actually telling yourself like, oh, I'm actually feeling a lot of things right now. I'm taking a breather. I'm taking a step back so that when these emotions arise, I'm not busy, I'm not doing something that's going to cause me irritability, that these emotions are coming up. I'm giving these emotions space to show up so that they can be felt, to be released, okay? So it's a lot of reparenting, and that's always like the hardest part. I think when we dive into ourselves, at least for me, it was really difficult to not only see how I was mimicking my parents, like, because I came from a, on the outside looks fine, but the inside system was a little messed up. I'm not gonna lie. And so I struggled a lot, and the person I struggled most with was my mom, probably because I mirrored her the most. And so once I started dealing with my own path, I had to face the fact that I had mirrored a lot of my mom's actions that caused me pain. And it caused me to really look at myself, not because I don't want to be like my mom. I just want to be healthier, because I know she dealt with so much in her life, right? So her journey is hers, but the things that she adopted, I don't need to adopt. It doesn't help me in my life, and I realized that. And so from that point on, I had to learn how to reparent, and I'm still doing that. I'm still learning how to reparent. It's literally giving yourself grace, trying to figure out new ways to soothe yourself without harming yourself and others in the process, right? So let's carry on. Let's see what else the tarot has for you. So you want to move forward. You want to, this past situation, you want to move it forward. You don't want it to end. And so let's figure out what's next. If that's Ten of Pentacles in reverse, King of Pentacles in reverse, the Fool, and Nine of Swords. Okay, so clearly by moving forward with this kind of scenario, it's telling me that, it might block you. It just might block you. And Spirit wants to be frank with you, because you've dealt with so much. You've already healed so much of yourself, and there were so many nights where, your mind was overtaken with the pain that others caused you by your own awareness. That lack of clarity can cause you to have a lot of nightmares. And so you were dealing with that for a long time. And what Spirit is saying, like, it may feel like a leap of faith. It's a leap of faith away from what you thought you were building. Okay. So many of you have goals of creating generational wealth. That's what the Ten of Pentacles represents, generational wealth. And it was in reverse, so it's telling me that, by moving forwards with this connection, it will deter you away from your Ten of Pentacles, your what you're trying to manifest in this physical world. And with the King of Pentacles in reverse, it's showing me that, you will have to understand that when you take a leap of faith, you can't really embody the king. You have to embody the Fool. And the Fool is, they're called the Fool because, that's what everyone else assumes. But in reality, they're taking a leap of faith. They have divine protection up here. And they have guidance. They have joy. They have guidance. And so I think what Spirit is trying to say is that, by taking this situation and moving forwards with it, you will have to start a new cycle where you are not the most abundant, where you are not in your most manifested physical reality, because it's something new. It's something completely new. And this requires guts. And you have it. You have it. Okay? Like, let's be real. The fact that you have made it this far in your journey, or the fact that you even want to start your journey, you have to have a lot of guts. And so the Fool is all about that, taking that leap of faith, trying to make something new of yourself, create a new chapter, start over, right? Maybe you guys were the King of Pentacles, obviously, and you just realized that it didn't give you what you wanted. It didn't give you what you wanted because the King of Cups is coming in reverse. And so the money that you worked so hard to get, that you thought would give you that peace, that inner peace, that feeling of good, right? That you did good. It's not there. And, sometimes it's there, but for the most part, I feel like you guys feel like there's something missing with the Two of Cups in reverse. So notice how like all the cups are in reverse and the pentacles are in reverse, but the wand is upright. So there's a lot of defensiveness when it comes to this new chapter because it's new, it's scary. And so realize that, life might feel a little imbalanced. Life might be feeling not right now. And Spirit is saying, try to refrain from thinking too negatively about your situation. Try to think about it in a more positive way, because maybe what you thought was your Ten of Pentacles isn't actually what you truly desire. Maybe everything that you had envisioned for yourself suddenly doesn't seem too aligned with you anymore, and hence this wanting of moving forward. But when we move forward with the past, it's still on us. It's still going to be there. So even if you're making changes, you need to be aware that, the past pains, everything that you held on to before, it's still there. And it should be seen. It should be dealt with. And maybe some of the things we talked about earlier can help you with that, right? Yeah. So, oh, good. Okay, cool. So it might cause you to feel imbalanced, but guess what? You feeling imbalanced is going to lead you to your most balanced state. Imagine that. Your most emotionally fulfilled state. So you're stepping away from this, I think your goals before were to have that generational wealth, to be that person, to be the King of Pentacles. But you realize that, a lot of that doesn't mean much unless the internal feels that way too. And your internal had been suffering because of the imbalance. And I can't tell you what the imbalance is. Oh, wait, actually, maybe I can. The imbalance is caused by communication issues. It's caused by not processing emotions. And so as you, collective, as you start processing everything, and I mean everything, allow it to come up. Don't deny it. When it comes up, just sit with it and be like, okay, you're here now. Let's deal with it. It's okay. We can deal with this. And that imbalance is gonna turn into balance real quick with the world. Okay, I didn't want to bring it close because her biddies are out, but yeah, just know that the World card means balance. And with the Wheel of Fortune upright, it's showing that you are not only going to be balancing out, but the wheel is turning in your favor. And what I mean by the wheel is circumstances are going to get better. People are going to treat you better. Life is going to just meet you in a better place. You're going to meet life in a better place and in a more balanced place where your mind and your heart are in the same place. Your inner world and your outer world are balanced, right? And so, these 3 cards themselves are really, really great and auspicious cards. That's all I'm going to tell you. Like, you have to realize that by taking this leap of faith away from the things that you had thought you wanted is going to lead you to everything that you've actually wanted. And that's taking a leap of faith for you. The universe shows up in such funny ways, right? So let's pull out some little cards that I've made, little oracle cards Okay, embrace the darkness. You will soon realize that darkness is not your enemy. Be fair to yourself. Your inner dialogue matters when it comes to your perception of self. All right, so, going back to what we've learned growing up, negative self-talk, that might have been a thing. Your inner critic is the hypercritical kind. And I can relate because, I grew up in a way where everything was criticized about me. Literally every part of me was criticized. And so I became extremely hypercritical about how I was just as a person. And unlearning that is one heck of a journey, but it's worth it, because when you can look at yourself in the mirror and you're not just scrutinizing every little aspect of you and not feeling down about yourself, there's a freedom to it. Okay, there is a freedom to not judging yourself. By healing this, by replacing your inner dialogue with something better, that requires you to tune into different medias. And I realized this while dealing with mine. I'm just telling you my story so that you have an example. Okay, I'm not trying to insert this is all about me. I'm just trying to help you guys by giving you a real life example through what I experienced. And so a way I dealt with my inner dialogue was watching a lot of affirmation videos. So I got used to hearing affirmations so that they didn't sound corny or silly or just ridiculous anymore. And then once I started getting used to that, I started using subliminals. I started using positive subliminals, ones that reprogram the mind to not only rid of the harmful self-talk, but reprogram it so that it's positive self-talk, so that it is beneficial self-talk. We're not trying to erase our shadows, because the other card you got is embrace the darkness. It's not about getting rid of the darkness. It's about just reprogramming the way we talk to ourselves. And that can have such a big impact on how you come off to yourself. I think maybe you not being able to process your emotions is because you yourself are afraid of how you will respond to your own emotions. Because this hypercritical inner dialogue, when all those things want to come out, it doesn't feel safe to, because your body knows what your inner dialogue is. It hears it every day. And so it's I don't want to bring this up because you're going to be mean about it, right? Or something like that. And so it's just about these small little things, and it's just things that you consume. So I stopped watching TikTok. I stopped watching anything that was algorithm fed too much. The only thing I really watch is YouTube, because there's still some sense of control there. But for me, when when it's algorithms that constantly like are trying to trigger you, you can't get into a peaceful state. They're designed to get you out of the peaceful state and into a emotionally triggered state, whether it be a good emotion or a bad emotion. A lot of content is like that. And so watching what you consume is very important media wise for your inner dialogue. Keep kind of like a recollection of things that you watch and see, and then go over it by the end of the week and see like, okay, I didn't watch that many positive things. I watched a lot of negative things. And that's why my inner world, the way I perceive myself is a little bit more negative. It's because I'm consuming a lot of negative. And so when you can consume positive to balance out the negative, okay, that's really important to balance it out. You're going to be able to see yourself in a new light, in a much more freeing light, in a way that's not harmful to you and your future growth, okay? And embrace the darkness. You will soon realize that darkness is not your enemy. Yes, so the minute you can sit with your emotions, sit with those shadows that come out. We all have aspects that we love about ourselves, and then we have aspects that we absolutely do not love about ourselves, right? And so give space to that other part of you that just isn't, that has been proven to you to not be that lovable, okay? Bring it up, let it out. Let yourself be unlovable sometimes. You don't need to be lovable to everyone, but you need to sure as hell love yourself. You need to see yourself for who you are in its entirety. You do not need to hide from you. If you feel the need to hide from other people, that's a whole nother story. But for you, be true to you. Allow yourself to see all sides of you and accept it all. Because it is a part of you, whether you like it or not. And whether other people like it or not, it's not their business. You are not other people's business, okay? That's what I'm going to say. You yourself are your business. Take accountability for yourself. See every aspect of you. Realize that, you're not a horrible person. You're just a human being having a human experience. There's no need to judge yourself and say that, you're a bad person or you've done this and this and this and that's why you deserve this and this. But it's like, give yourself some grace. The reason why we get into this hypercritical space is because we have not learned, or nobody has given us grace before. Okay? Everyone has expected you to be perfect. But you're not, and they know you're not. They just act that way because who the fuck knows? But you don't need to act that way. You can be true to yourself. You can be real with yourself. And when you can be real, your true self comes out and you're able to align with things that actually matter to you, right? That's why when we do manifestations, when I have clients that, ask me about how did you even make the life that you wanted? And it's like, well, I started with the life that I did not like in any way, and I had to change them incrementally, little by little. My habits changed, my what I preferred doing changed. What I preferred eating changed. And, like today I still eat like crap sometimes. But for the most part, I still cook and I make sure that my food is whole foods because I cannot do processed. And so, and when you do that, when you feed your body with good stuff, you kind of start having more good thoughts. I noticed this because I started eating out like last week a lot because I was lazy. And my mind was just in a whole nother world. I don't really know where it was, but over this weekend, over this time, I had all my meals were home cooked. I just made all my food myself, And I feel so much better. I feel so much lighter. I feel just healthier overall, which allows me to look at myself in a better way, because it's like, oh, I intentionally fed myself healthier foods. I feel good about that. So it's just about doing little habits that make you feel good, that make you like feel like, oh wow, I just took care of myself. That was kind of nice. and then eventually all the things you do just kind of is designed to make you feel better. And so you do end up feeling better, and you end up making better choices for yourself. And so it's like a domino or like a butterfly effect, where one small act of kindness towards yourself can ripple into a life of just kindness towards you. That's how it started for me. And yeah. Yes. Let's see what else. Release expectations and choose yourself, and good days are on the way. Yay. So, I think a lot of people expected a lot out of you, right? I think collective, you were like the golden child, or just like really heralded in your family for a long time. And, on the outside, that looks great. Like, other people are giving you praise all the time. But when you grow up and you don't act in the way that they assumed you would, suddenly those expectations seem a lot heavier, right? Suddenly those expectations just seem like it's just something you don't even want. The praise that comes with those expectations, you don't even want anymore. And so release those expectations that people have put on you. Realize that, they were just given a glimpse of your life, of who you kind of were, because there's no way that they could actually see you for your whole entirety, And so realize that those expectations are made in little blips that people kind of interact with you. They don't actually, they're not decoding your entire life and being like, okay, these are my expectations. They just see you kind of somewhere, and then they have like a whole array of expectations that are put on you immediately, and called pedestalizing. And so release that. You don't need to be put on a pedestal, collective, to feel good about yourself. I trust that you do not need to feel like others are glorifying your presence to feel good about yourself, because that's something that I had to work through too. Oh my gosh, all these things coming up. I'm like, oh yeah, I dealt with that too. So I had so many people with so many expectations of me, and I'm like, I'm still growing, I'm still changing. Like, I know you're expecting certain things out of me, but like, I'm my own human being. My life is going the way it's supposed to. And for you to have expectations over someone else's life is a little strange. Okay, I just started thinking like other people's words on my life is weird. It's a little weird because it's imposing one's belief or one's expectations onto another person that literally has like nothing to do with you. Like even your parents, even if they expected a lot of you, they don't have anything to do with the future that you're creating. They helped you grow, but they cannot tell you what to do with your own life. That's strange to me. And so like I just started seeing that. I'm like, that's weird behavior. I don't like that. And so I just released them all. I'm like, you know what? You guys are on some other stuff right now, and I can't deal with it. So I chose myself. That's your next card. Choose yourself. That's exactly what you got to do. You just got to put yourself a little, put more importance on you, because you're supposed to. It's your life. Feel like you're important to your own life, please. And choose yourself. Realize that, like, if you don't choose you, no one will. I'm being so for real. If you don't choose you, no one will. And, you know, if people choose you when you can't choose yourself, it's because they're riding on those expectations that they have of you. Because if they saw you in a state where you're not choosing yourself, you're not in your power, they're going to be like, okay, cool, I can actually use this to my advantage. I can actually, they don't see their power. They don't see their own strength. So I can totally just impose my own ideas on them, impose my own thoughts onto them. And that'll be cool. It's like getting another pet. You're nobody's pet. Choose yourself. Don't allow others to impose their own expectations onto you. And release it all and realize how weird it is. You don't even have to think it's bad or good. Just think about how odd it is, how uncomfortable it is to be around people that assume that what they think should go. This is like, well, who are you to tell me like what should go and what should not? Like, you're living a human life just like me. Like, I'm not going to think that you're any better than me, even if you think that you're better than me. You know, it's kind of like that, where it's like, keep your opinions to yourself. And then good days are on the way. So yeah, with those cards that we pulled out earlier, with the Ten of Cups, the World, and the Wheel of Fortune, know that, you know, your life is about to go way up. It's about to just start skyrocketing at some point, because this is happening really soon. This is happening really, really soon. And if not soon, it's already happening now. This balance, this inner balance and outer balance is coming into balance. And you're going to be able to feel better. And when you feel better, you have better days, right? And even if things happen to you on the days and, you know, it's not a positive thing, if you can still feel good internally, the day is not an overall bad day, right? And so your mind is shifting, your mindset is shifting, causing you to understand that, you know, like, life can be good when you choose to make it good, right? And so that's all I have for you, collective. I hope that this message helped you out in any way. If it did, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe if you like my types of readings, okay? I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.